Yeah. Hey. All right. Hey. Yeah, I mean.
So we about to take off.
Hey. Please do remain calm. About to run against fitting with a little bit of soul, no times.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the Please Remain Calm podcast. I'm Ben Gonzalez.
And I'm Daniel Gonzalez.
All right, and you are rocking the PRC T-shirt. I almost wore it. We almost had another day.
It's pretty cute when we do that, though, dude.
Where we doubled up.
I think that's nice when we do that.
Like we're
I'm sure Mom likes it.
Full-on Wonder Twins.
I also want to just point out my mustache. How fucking sweet this mustache is coming in. And
Are
usually
you waxing the ends?
are
you trying to get a little
I hit
curl?
it with some wax, man, but it doesn't always come in so even and good and bushy like this. I'm pretty proud of it myself. Our guest today is my good friend Mike James. Mike, say hi.
Hi, good morning.
Mike is a newly promoted captain. Congratulations,
Yes.
by the way,
Congrats.
with the LAFD.
Thank you.
And getting back into having people that had shit happen to them.
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
a little run of shows where we got into like other things, like people kind of still had stuff happen to them, but it wasn't like the theme, the central part of the episode.
Or it was like generally they had shit happen to them throughout their life. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a specific thing.
Exactly. And now we're getting back into the old meat and potatoes of the show. Where,
Yeah, what people come here for.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly.
So Mike's story, I want to start off, first of all, by just talking about what kind of guy Mike is to me. Okay. So
be
sit back, man. let this cascade over you. When I first got on the
Queued
job,
up some music for that.
deep thoughts about Mike James. When I first got on the fire department, right, and you guys all know that, you know, with the probation, my first stop was Fire Station 9 downtown. And when I got to Nines, the year before I got to Nines, right, year before, 2 years before, something like that, was the busiest fire station in the country.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you get there and it has this like aura about it, you know, especially going through probation and shit like that. Nines always had this aura about it. And then boom, I get off probation. There's a spot open there. And I'm like, fuck, screw it, dude. I'm going to go to Nines. I'm really trying not to curse, by the way, because my mom said I say fuck too much.
Oh, what about me? Can I?
You can curse. We can all curse.
Go nuts.
Hey, they're going to come out, man. There's no
It
control.
happens.
But anyways, you get there and you're nervous about being at a fire station like that. You know what I mean? A busy place where you know they see fire. You know, they have a huge homeless population, stuff like that. And then with this whole aura of like being the busiest fire station in the country, it's like, holy shit, what did I get myself into?
I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, man, I was tossing it back and forth.
If I have a choice, yeah, you know what I mean?
The honesty on this
Yeah.
show is what people come
Be
back
on
for,
the West
bro.
Side, Hollywood. you
Hey,
know?
eventually I got to a point I wish I hadn't done it, but,
You know
but
what?
here we are.
You know, I would have wanted to be like 41s and just try to like hit some open mics.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
So you know, you get there and a fire station, being new at a fire station, especially a busy spot like that, that's considered like a rah-rah station. You can get there and there it could be a bunch of dicks that work there. You know what I mean? And that are hard on you, and you know you're still learning too. Even off of probation, you don't really know your fucking job. Damn it, your job as a fireman until you've been to a couple fires. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or
You
a
kidding?
year or a couple of years into your
Yeah,
career
yeah.
where you really feel comfortable as a firefighter. So when I got there, Mike was like, I don't know if you were the bull when I got there.
I don't
With our
remember.
group,
I
it was
don't-
like me and Danny
honestly,
Goot.
I don't think I was a bull with time on.
Yeah.
But I may have been acting like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely acting like
Yeah.
it. I do
You've
remember
been at that station for a while.
I've been there. No, not that long, but at that time it was a high turnover. So
Yeah.
yeah, sure.
um,
Yeah.
I think the guys that had been there longer had just left, and some of the other guys that have been there with my time, or maybe just a little bit more, may have been some of the rotational guys who were on the rescue and on the fire side. I was permanent fire side because at that time I was a single function firefighter.
Yeah.
So I was on the truck a lot, and
It was a group.
Filling
It
that,
was
yeah.
me,
So
Rhino,
the most time of the guys that were left, basically, or the
Yeah.
guys that were there
Right.
that remained
Yeah.
at the station.
Yeah.
and there's good firemen there, you know, and he's
Yeah.
definitely one of them. It was
I
me.
mean, that's like why you go there too, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was a little group of us that had just gone on probation. Ryan and Danny Goot
Yeah.
and me, right?
yeah.
And then Refugio got there just after that. So it was like this cool little group of guys that got there at the same time. We all kind of came up over there together.
Yeah.
But Mike was one of the guys that basically fucking taught us how to be a firefighter and be a good firefighter and the proper way to do things, how to handle working in Nines, how to handle working with the homeless.
A little
because
different.
Yeah, it's definitely different, man.
Yeah.
It's I used to get in trouble there because it's kind of weird, man. Like there's a lot of talk now in society about like helping the homeless and helping like the lesser fortunate people and stuff like that. I remember being there, man, and like having to like, you're almost like yelling at people every time you go up for a patient. You know what I mean? Like, because they're either, the majority of them, I don't want to say all of them, but the majority of them are either high or there's a lot of mental illness.
Yeah.
And it's hard for them to focus. So you'd be like, so you'd be like, sir, hey, what's wrong with you? Tell me your name.
and to make sure that that's the guy.
Yeah, exactly. You know, or you pull up and someone's up to their neck in a sleeping bag, and you're like, hey, you know, somebody called for you, and they're just ignoring you. It's like you got to get them out of there, and then it's just a weird spot and a weird way to deal with people.
Yeah, but the thing too is like most runs where you're dealing with the homeless, it's one guy in one spot. You know what I mean? And like you get the full response, you see that's the guy there.
Yeah.
Where you will work.
Yeah.
The entire block is that guy. The whole 5 blocks is that guy. Like I don't know how you even find the patient.
Sometimes you pick them.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, you're the patient now. Well, we didn't see him.
Yeah,
he said he was fine.
Yeah, you got a person down at an intersection call, and you're
That's
just like,
what I'm saying. Yeah, the guy's
12 tents.
Right? Yeah.
4 people laying down in each one.
He's outside the McDonald's. There's 30 homeless guys outside the McDonald's.
Could you have him wave? A patient says he's waving, and there's 4 people running down the street like this. You know?
Yeah, man.
But that's the setting where I met Mike and where we learned. It was a crazy place, a cool time because you're young on the job as a fireman and stuff like that with a bunch of young guys. And then also it was the effect of the housing market had taken off too at that time, so everyone had like pulled out money on their homes. So everyone had boats,
boats and motorcycles.
Oh, dude! Everyone had a boat. Everyone had a bike, and I'm just like trying to
second houses,
trying to keep up. You know what I mean? With my little
is that when you bought your bike?
A little bit after that. I didn't have money. I didn't have any money, man. I was fresh off probation.
I remember.
That's why I didn't buy a house. Thank God. I was just too busy spending money partying with you guys.
Yeah.
And didn't have money to buy a house. But anyway, the reason we're here is Mike had something happen to him that almost cost him his life. A scary situation that happened in a different country. And so there's a lot of different angles to the story. And I think it's pretty interesting and pretty trippy. And I don't know, we can start.
Sounds like it's like Midnight Express.
At the very beginning? I can go back pretty far.
Mike was moving hash in Turkey.
See how much time
describe it, dude. Out of intrigue.
Let's talk about my ancestors.
So the very, very beginning.
Yeah.
The very, very beginning started at the fire station.
Okay.
It started at Nines because prior to going to Nines, I kind of became I guess an adult. If I wasn't one already working there.
Yeah.
You know, I learned a lot of stuff. One of the things was how to ride a dirt bike.
Yeah.
In the back of the fire station, Wally.
Oh, no shit.
Had his dirt bike in the back, and a couple of the guys were they were going to the track a lot, and they would bring videos on VHS cassettes. I can't believe I just said that.
Is this thing rewound? Yeah. Rewind it, fool. I gotta watch it.
Of them riding dirt bikes.
Of them riding dirt bikes on tracks, and I just thought that's the coolest thing. I can do that now.
Yeah.
And I remember I hopped on the back of Wally's bike in the back of the station and stalled it. And then Suter was my AO, Scott. He lives out in Hesperia, and past his house is nothing but
dirt.
Dirt, hills, and then Vegas.
Yeah.
So it's infinite amount of riding space. So I bought a bike, cheap old.
Did you ride at all
TX,
before this? Even a Harley or anything?
No,
nothing. Damn,
nothing.
That's crazy.
Just pedals.
Yeah.
And so I bought this bike. Didn't know how to ride it. Took it to Scott's house. On the way there, he met me at what was that place called? At this dirt bike shop, and we bought the cheapest protective gear anybody can buy. He's like, "Okay, this will work. This will work." And we go out to his backyard, and his kid, who was like 8 years old at the time, Shane.
On the job
who's on the job now, went out with me, and he's like on a 50 or something, and as I'm trying to stay upright, he's doing circles around me, going as I'm going straight, and Scott would just take me on all these different trails, and I was able to keep the bike running eventually. So fast forward to just me riding. I'd go out riding, me, Wally, Andy, Johnny, Matt.
Just became a regular thing.
It became one
you
of
guys did for
that
fun.
was our off-duty activity.
Does all the Nines gang.
All the Nines gang.
Yeah, man.
We go riding.
Did you guys ever go out to like Glamis or
Yeah,
any of those spots?
I was just gonna say we go to
Okay.
Glamis, like a TOLs. We do the rides at the department house, the hook and ladder and buzzard bait.
And you own a bike now at this point. You bought a bike.
At this point,
What,
yeah.
What
yeah.
size was
It was a KX 250, which doesn't sound like much, and I still don't know much about bikes.
I have no
Yeah.
idea,
Yeah.
anyways, dude. Yeah,
But when I bought it, it was like a 1989
Yeah.
bike and a 2-stroke engine. And I remember Scott would always say, "Hey man, watch out for that power band," and I would be like, "What the
Yeah,
What's
got
a-
it, bro.
what's a
Yeah.
power band?"
What the hell is that?
But and I still don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But I think that's what that's
like-
what almost killed me.
That's like me and Carlos one day we're riding, we're talking about trucks and shit, and Carlos goes, "Yeah, I think I'm thinking of getting a Ram." And I go, "Yeah, man, those things have Hemis." He looks at me, he goes, "The hell's a Hemi?" I go, "Fuck, man, I don't know."
they got it though.
They got him.
You want it.
It
That's
sounds
what you
good
want.
and
That's
shit.
what you
Yeah,
want.
But
That's
this
why I
is
Hemi.
this is also like a common thing, like with the fire service too. Is like you just learn a hobby, you learn a new
Oh,
skill.
well, yeah,
just when you're kicking
Lot-
around the station, if one
it.
guy knows how to do something,
Yeah.
everybody just is going to learn how to do
Yeah.
it one day.
And it's just an example dude, you wind up living with these people just as much, or if not more, than you do with your family at home
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So you wind up, really learning about guys and developing these like personal relationships. And when they're into something cool like that,
Yeah.
that you all can do together as a group, boating, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
trips to Havasu, stuff like that. It's fun to go out as a group with those guys
Hey,
and have that.
that being
those
said,
experiences.
did you ever like teach anybody any acting skills?
No,
in the station, you guys do warm ups.
I'll tell you.
Red leather, yellow leather.
I'll tell you the extent of people in the fire department as far as their interest in my acting. It's always this. Pop down next to me. "Hey, how's acting going, bro?" "I was pretty good, man. Going out, whatever." "Oh, okay. Hey, listen, if you had to kiss a guy," and I'm just like,
This
That's
is like
where
a
it goes?
feature
I
film.
haven't thought about that.
the question I get asked most on the fire department, dude.
Really?
Yeah, it's a trip.
Oh, yeah.
So you're riding bikes regularly. Would you
Yeah.
say you're pretty comfortable riding now at this point? I mean, are you jumping shit?
Most of it accidental.
yeah.
Just like snowboarding, most of it was accidental.
Yeah.
There was a point where I got really comfortable.
Yeah.
And I wasn't good, but I was comfortable.
Still with
And-
the super
oh.
cheap protective gear?
Or
Or did you wind up going and fighting for some good shit?
No, it up until I'll fast forward to the incident. I had all good stuff,
Okay.
but I had done some. I had gotten some pretty good crashes prior to that,
Oh, really?
and every time you get jacked up, you get scared.
Sure.
You're
fuck it.
very, very
Buy a
timid,
new
apprehensive. Yeah, so I was always in the market for the latest and greatest. I still have all kinds of stuff. But yeah, for the most of my time I was riding, I had some pretty cheap stuff.
Okay.
Just to say I was wearing it.
Yeah.
And I was comfortable enough to go out and kind of hang with everybody. And for the most part, I was probably the weakest rider every time I was in the group.
Yeah.
And I definitely was riding over my head a lot of the time.
Oh, really?
A lot of the time.
And just get done and be
And-
like,
and then,
holy
yeah,
fuck.
Yeah.
I'd
like,
be
thank
armored,
God
dude.
we
Yeah.
stopped.
I'd look like the Hurt Locker out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck, dude. Like, I don't want to
Well,
die.
yeah,
Yeah.
I couldn't wear too much more than everyone else, and everyone else was wearing the minimum.
Yeah,
so.
that's true.
know.
Did you ever have a situation where somebody like that was in your group got hurt badly while you were riding with them? Or everyone's pretty safe most of the time?
For the most part, there's always bumps and bruises.
Okay.
Someone always fell off their bike and
Yeah.
had to take a minute to
Sure.
gather themselves. One hospital trip prior to my first hospital trip, but it was for like their shin hit the peg, and it's
Yeah.
just more
Yeah,
pain
yeah,
than anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
But all these things all happen here in the U.S., right?
Oh,
Glamis,
all
the
of it's in
desert
Glamis,
here,
yeah.
everything's
Yeah,
here.
all local.
Everything's
local
here.
Accidents.
So if you get hurt, let's say you get hurt and really fucked up, you have people there that can at least call. They can get an air ambulance out there,
Yeah.
to airlift you to
Right.
the local
Be all right.
trauma
Yeah.
center,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah, and that happened every time
Every
we had
event,
one of
yeah.
our LAFD events.
Sure, somebody gets hurt.
One of the hook and
We
ladder.
just had
butts rate,
we
someone
just
would get
we just had
helicopter-
Leroy
yeah.
Rogers in here.
Oh,
Talk
really?
about it. His arm. Did you hear about that?
No.
Oh, that's the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Dirt bu-
Hey, the
dirt bike?
Buggy.
podcast is on next
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, when he tried to stop
Yeah.
it from rolling.
week. Yeah.
Don't
So
do that.
so people get hurt. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's how do you wind up in Mexico?
All right, so I'm talking to Wally, and he's always convincing me of the next great adventure.
Sure.
To this day, and because he's an adventure junkie, and he tells me that there's this Mexico ride. It's a fun ride, like a fundraiser ride from Rosarito to Ensenada.
And it's a ride.
It's a ride.
Not a race.
It's not a race.
Okay.
It's just a fundraiser ride.
How far is that again? It's like 50 miles
It's
or
about
something?
50 miles
right?
or so. It's not, for a dirt bike ride, it's not like a long endurance or anything.
Right.
It's more of a fun ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, Wally's never steered me wrong,
Yeah.
except for one other time when I crashed really bad. I said, yeah, dude, Wally sounds like fun. So me, Wally, and Tony did it. Wally took care of everything, as you expect. We got all the Mexico insurance and
Sure, yeah.
everything that we needed.
Progressivo.
Had he done this particular ride in the past?
No, but Wally's great at researching, and the group that does it had done it in the past. It's they also do the Baja 1000,
Yeah.
which is a different time of the year. But so they're very familiar with the terrain and the roads and just the outlining area where they usually ride.
All right.
So
And the Baja 1000 is the big premier off-road race in Mexico, right?
Yeah,
They have
a big one.
like sand rails and shit like that
Yeah,
doing that
cars,
race
yeah.
too, right? Okay.
Yeah, and
It's also notorious though for having the locals like set booby traps
Yeah,
and shit like
so,
that all
yeah.
throughout the course, right?
Yeah.
You do know that?
Nah,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, the locals, little assholes,
Yeah.
will set up rocks and shit and different things. So
Yeah.
when you're flying through, boom, all of a sudden there's a boulder there to make you crash and shit, and then they sit
So,
there and crack up at
yeah,
you.
wherever you find a crowd, you have to a crowd in the middle of nowhere. You have to assume that potentially there's
That's wild.
possibility
This is all
of
new.
something.
My whole experience with this is just
Yeah.
like that Mickey Thompson's off-road game, remember?
Yeah,
In the
yeah.
arcades?
Dude,
Yeah.
it's all kind of. I only pick up bits and pieces of it because I've never gone. I've never gone to Glamis or
I've only
anything.
heard here
Yeah.
and there too, and watched videos, but
So this wasn't actually the Baja race, but it
No,
was.
it was
But it
just-
was sections of that race, or
I don't even think it was sections of the race, but the crew who put this joyride on does the Baja race.
Okay, gotcha.
Also. So they're familiar with
sure,
just
sure.
that part of Mexico.
Okay.
So it was I'd say let's say 50 miles with a couple checkpoints, 2 checkpoints. Really professional. We got there the day before. We got there on a Friday, and it was me, Ryan, and Tony. We loaded our bikes up. I got a picture of it. We loaded our bikes up.
Ryan
in the
is
back
Wally,
of-
by the way, right? Ryan Wallace.
Oh yeah.
So we call him Wally.
Yeah, well,
He's an engineer with the fire department.
yeah, Wally and Tony.
Great guy. Shout out, Wally.
Yeah, love you, Wally. Even though you always try to get me killed, I'm on to you. But yeah, so we load up and we're all set to go. It's funny because everyone's like, Mike, don't crash.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
No
if,
shit.
if there's one thing I'm not going to do, I'm not going to crash.
What, everybody already knows that you might crash?
Yeah,
You're
because
like,
I'm a
you're-
horrible,
you're the crash
horrible.
guy?
I'm horrible on a dirt bike.
Wrong way, Mike.
Horrible. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do anything. I'm definitely not going to crash.
And you said already, Wally planned the whole thing. You guys purchased insurance.
Yes.
It's medical insurance. It's
Yes.
travelers' medical insurance
Yeah.
in Mexico. right?
I hit a Progressivo joke for Mexican insurance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was just went over everybody's heads in the room. You know what I'm saying?
Damn it.
Yeah. If you want to rewind the podcast, you can catch
I
that.
did. I didn't
And
even
for
hear it,
whoever
so I fucking
listened,
missed it.
Whoever was listening caught that was
You got to
like,
talk right
you know what I
into
mean?
the mic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were like,
I'm-
Ben, good job.
But
Surprised I
those,
missed that. I'm part
but
Mexican.
you're filled with Mexican blood. We know that,
yeah,
right?
sangre.
But those insurances, they have a cap, right? They have a
So,
limit of
you
what they're
know,
going to pay out.
I never squared this away, but it may have just been the auto insurance drive in Mexico, not actual. But we did have some level of insurance because
because your Blue Cross or whatever the fuck, it
stuff
doesn't work down
fly
there.
out
Yeah, it
there.
doesn't
No,
fly. Yeah,
no,
they want
no.
cash money.
and I never really considered that. Like all
Yeah.
the traveling I've ever done in my life,
Yeah.
never thought
What if?
I've got insurance.
Yeah.
I think I have pretty good insurance
Yeah,
too.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
People always tell me that.
Do you
No
have
co-
extra
no
protection
copay.
for me fucking around in Mexico?
Yeah. How much is that?
Yeah.
Which
So
I need.
So you guys are down there for the
So
race.
Yeah, so we're down there really
For the
professional.
bike, yeah.
I've got to meet a bunch of the guys, but it's a big older crew.
Yeah.
older group of guys, and no hot shots or nothing like that.
Feels safer,
Felt
basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like
You're like, I can roll
felt
with
like
this shit, yeah.
I was like always. I felt like the amateur in the group,
Yeah.
and I was, and I was gonna act like it. Just be. I'm not gonna try and blow by anyone.
Sure.
So the next morning, we wake up early. We had a briefing, which was, it was like a NASA briefing. They were really professional.
No shit. Top notch, huh?
Yeah, we went out to this. It looked like a farm with like a little tiny little restaurant in it. Just country as country can be.
Yeah.
Like watch out for the landmines.
No shit.
Yeah. There's cow patties everywhere, and we pull our bikes out and we have a little meeting, and they're really really serious. Like, hey, you guys, we're gonna be traveling through some parts of Mexico that are pretty dangerous because we're gonna be passing through private roads, and private property. Not everything's groomed. The trail is marked clearly, but expect like some traffic from cars or farming trucks or vehicles because they're not expecting us. We're not expecting them.
Right.
There's livestock roaming around.
Random paleta guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I'd hear. I hear the bell. And so we're like, all right, okay, we'll be cautious.
Did they say anything about safety as far as like banditos or fucking
No, nothing.
the cartels, nothing like that, right?
nothing like that
Okay.
at all. More just like the most dangerous thing would be like a cow. When you make a turn,
yeah.
turn a corner, there's a cow right there.
Yeah, okay.
So
That would suck.
they said that they drove the course and that there wasn't any booby traps or anything like that for us to worry about because we weren't going. We're pretty much staying on roads and established trails.
Right.
So we weren't going to no man's land, pretty much.
Right.
It was clearly marked, so that trail tape that we always see, people with brush bags, just like plastic ribbon.
Yeah.
They put
Right.
that on every branch so you could see a direction of travel.
Right.
So, and because that's such a popular route, there's a lot of ribbon out there.
You're like, what the shit? Oh, man.
So we went off, and all the good people, all the experienced riders rode off, and me, Tony, and Wally just followed up in the rear, and it was fun.
Yeah.
It was really pretty. It was like a lot of the countryside you don't get to see, really green and like a little trail, streams and stuff.
Sure, yeah.
So we're having fun, and it's a long ride. We're probably a couple hours into it. And
do you have a van or anything that's trailing you?
there is a chase vehicle, but because we were on the dirt trail, it just took routes on the streets
Right,
So,
okay.
nearby.
and stayed at the checkpoints.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So getting into the ride, I was on. So what was it? My 34th birthday. It was April 3rd. I bought myself like a $14,000 top of the line KTM 500 EXC, which is like the Cadillac of dirt bikes.
I thought you were gonna say helmet.
Oh. By then I had a new helmet too.
Okay.
It was a pretty cool helmet, and that pretty good safety gear, and just all modern good stuff, just
Sure,
quality
yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
And but the bike was tops. Like,
Beautiful.
you could take it we could take it. You could race it when you
Oh,
buy
really?
it. Yeah, it was like a.
That's the
it's
bike
like a
you had
Raptor.
with you.
That's the bike I was riding.
Okay.
It's
And
like
that
it's like a Ford Raptor.
oh no shit.
Yeah, like,
Okay.
yeah, it's
Legit.
legit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that talk that they gave you made you feel like this ride is going to be totally safe.
Yeah.
Right? It kind of.
Yeah, and it's safe. Yeah, every ride's pretty much as safe as you make it.
Yeah. True. Okay.
Right. So
So you're a couple hours in.
a couple hours in, I'm riding my bike. It's electric start, by the way. So which I wasn't stalling bikes at that time, but
Yeah.
had I stalled it, I could just start it up with a button.
Sure.
Just nice. So there's one really technical uphill part with like big boulders and stuff that I kind of jammed up. And Tony was having a little bit of problem because he had his clutch was slipping and he was getting tired and
Sure.
just his front fender had already ripped off.
Oh, man.
Damn.
So I made it up there, no problem. Step my bike down and say, hey, Tony, let's switch bikes.
Tony was you like a couple
Yeah,
years before.
exactly, maybe,
You're
yeah,
like, look
yeah,
at this guy.
yeah, he's
Huh?
amateur. Stick with me,
Hey, you need some
Tony.
help down there,
Yeah,
kid?
yeah. Yeah, so we switched bikes and I go, hey, I got the electric start. If you stall it, you don't have to get off,
Yeah.
take it or anything. You could just hit the button, keep going. So I managed to get his bike up to the top, and
So this is all Tony's fault.
so here we are. Here we are. Yeah. It's coming
You're on
together.
the
It's all starting to
first
come
bike.
together, huh? So now we're riding, and every once in a while I would just just pin it, get through all these really fast, fun kind of straightaways.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I would stop and wait for Wally and Tony to show up. And when I stop, I shut the bike down, and I could hear the other bikes, which always seemed like it's right around the corner.
Yeah.
Like with
Right.
a loom up, like
Sure,
it's right
yeah.
there, and then it's like up next city
yeah.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I probably did that 3 or 4 times, and then the 4th time, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna catch up with those guys. So I just pinned it, and I'm just flying, and it's so much fun because I'm feeling
Right.
so comfortable and
Yeah.
just hitting little jumps and turns and berms and following the trail tape and like slow down. Which way to go? Okay, there. And, it's
Yeah.
just I'm having a blast, and I'm thinking the whole time I'm gonna catch up with these other guys. And then
I'm gonna hit a backflip right here.
yeah, I'm just gonna catch up with these other guys.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna catch up. With
I'm
these
gonna
other guys.
win this thing.
Yeah. I think I have a chance.
I
to
got a
take it.
chance.
So I get to this one spot, and up to this point, everything was very well labeled
Okay.
and marked, so I knew exactly where I was going. So I go up this little berm to the road, paved road, regularly like asphalt paved road, and there's nothing there. There's no direction. So I'm like, shit, I must have went the wrong way.
Yeah.
So I'll just turn around. There's got to be a Y or a fork or a T or some type of intersection. I'll just go back and find my way. I didn't think anything of it. Not an issue. So I turn around, ride back down, and I wake up.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, you're right. I wake up like I was waking up.
Well, the
out of bed.
podcast is over, folks.
Wow.
The next thing I know,
Yeah.
yada yada yada. I'm here.
Yeah,
These
not
are
very
comments
theatrical.
brought to you by.
So you just
I turned around.
Turn
This is
around,
everything I
started
can
riding.
remember. I was like, shit, I guess I better turn around. I turn around, and I could kind of picture the trail just like goes back down a little bit, and
Yeah.
some pretty tall brush on either side. And then I woke up. I woke up with my straddling my bike still, my legs between my bike. And
Is
I
it still
woke up-
running?
No, it's not running.
Okay.
I woke up as if I was waking up from sleeping for 8 hours, like.
No shit.
And then my first thought was, "Fuck,
Why
Am
did I
I
sleep
right?
with my
Am I-
bike between my legs?
am I ready? I am ready. I'm in Mexico. Fuck, I crashed.
Oh shit,
Fuck,
man.
fuck, I crashed. I wasn't supposed to crash. Fuck, everyone told me not to crash. They knew I was gonna crash. Fuck, I
shit.
crashed. Yeah,
You're still by
And
yourself
now
though.
you're wide awake.
I'm all by myself.
By yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right away. Yeah, and I was so disappointed. Like, damn it,
Yeah.
Mike, you weren't supposed to crash.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, how the fuck did I crash? And I wasn't giving that much thought because I wanted to get. My leg was. It wasn't pinned on, but it was under the bike.
Sure.
It's
Just the
bikes-
weight of the
yeah,
bike.
the bikes
Yeah,
aren't heavy
yeah,
or
yeah.
anything. So pull my leg from underneath the bike, and I had some really nice boots too, which they're so comfortable I could wear them like I surprised I wear them now. But so I think that helped a little bit, at least for my foot.
And because you've been pinning it and trying to catch up, you're way far ahead of Wally and Tony now at this point, or you're not
as
sure?
far as I know,
Yeah.
I don't.
You have no idea.
I had no idea.
You don't even know how long
You
you're
didn't know how
out.
long you were out. Yeah.
No clue how long I was out.
Are you feeling pain at this point?
Not really any pain as I'm waking up.
But you were also off the trail, kind of, right?
I woke up right in the middle of the trail. I was on the trail, straddling my bike, bike's off.
But I mean, you said you had like made a wrong turn somewhere.
Oh,
you're trying
I
to
was
go
on
back.
a trail, but
yeah,
not
but not on the
correct
trail
Yeah,
where
right,
everybody else
right.
was.
Yes.
So there's no real way for anyone to even know that you're out.
Yes. There's more to that.
All right.
Do your thoughts go pretty quickly to let me get this bike up so no one sees that I crashed?
You know, I thought about that for a second, but I was more like, hey, let me get my shit together
Yeah.
and get back to I was thinking I'll just turn around and I'll run into Wally and Tony.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I was thinking, let me just get back up and catch up to these guys. I was so alone, I wasn't worried about
Sure.
anyone.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
anyone catching me. So I stand up. I'm like kind of brushing myself off and feeling myself, like doing a little
Sure. Yeah.
checks.
Self-check.
Yeah, self-checks. And I'm like, oh, man, my shoulders are a little sore and every joint, my knees, my ankles. I look down, there's blood on my shirt, but it's not a lot. And I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck, what the fuck happened? And now I'm starting to feel a little bit more aches and pains. My stomach's hurting a little bit. I got to pee really bad. And I'm like, fuck, why do I have to pee so bad? So I walk over to the side of the trail like it mattered.
Yeah.
And I start to pee. and bright red blood.
Oh shit.
Bright red blood.
Oh,
And I'm like,
shit.
fuck, that's not good, but it feels good to let it out.
Yeah.
Which means my stomach must have been full of blood because I had to go.
Yeah.
I'm letting it
Your
out.
bladder at least, huh?
Yeah, my
Yeah.
bladder, I mean.
Yeah.
So I'm like letting it out, and this feels good, but it's blood, and I'm like,
Oh
I have
shit.
mixed feelings about it. I'm thinking,
Oh God, it feels so good, but Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
I might be dying.
yeah, I'm like, I'm thinking, makes no sense because I know
Holy
better.
shit, I have to shit.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Makes no sense, but it made sense because it felt good. But I was thinking, I can't let this blood out. I need it.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's in my bladder.
Right,
it's not
yeah, it's
serving
already-
any
yeah.
purpose,
Sure,
but
yeah.
filling me up. And
But,
then
but are you still kind of in a daze at that point? Like,
that-
is it still
was-
trying
no,
to,
I'm
like
waking
when
up.
you wake up when you're drunk and you're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? How did I get in this?
That's how it
fucking
was
room?
initially, but
Yeah.
once the blood came out, that's when like the light
Boom,
came
everything
on.
kind of
Snap
focus.
too,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm fucking in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and,
You had a
I
phone?
don't know where I am.
Yeah.
This is in 2012. I probably had like an iPhone 3.
Yeah.
What time
yeah,
when did
yeah.
iPhones come out? 2008. I probably
Yeah.
still had
Yeah,
iPhone
yeah.
3.
Because I was at tens when this happened. I remember
Yeah.
hearing the next morning
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
I had a phone, but it was before we started taking pictures because what I was taking pictures on was like this little
Oh yeah.
other thing.
Little
That was
camera
like
thing, yeah.
it was like that.
Yeah.
It was like the cheap
The
version of the
GoPro.
GoPro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, cell service
Yeah.
doesn't
Oh,
work
yeah.
down there or
Out
anything, right?
there,
When you're
yeah,
in
for
Mexico.
sure.
Wasn't really
Yeah.
thinking about it much. So I'm peeing blood, and then it's coagulated blood.
Oh,
And then that's
shit.
when I was like, fuck.
It's coming out
Yeah. it's like,
coagulated. Oh shit.
I'm like, how is that?
Shit.
Fuck. How? Now I'm like,
Oh,
that's not
shit.
good. How long? It takes a while for that to happen. How long have I been down?
Yeah.
I'm fucked up.
Do you have
Oh, man.
abdominal
I'm
pain?
fucked up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was having bad abdominal pain.
Did you take your shit off to kind of take a look and see if you were
No,
bruised?
I
or
never
anything
took
like that?
anything off.
No. Okay.
I sat down. After that, I stopped peeing and I sat down, and everything just started hurting more and more. And I think I may have been
still by yourself out
Still by
there?
myself,
No
yeah.
sign or no hearing of the other bikes or
No,
Wally or anybody.
No, but as far as I knew, I was on the trail, and Wally and Tony were right behind me, and they should be catching up to me any minute.
Sure.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
That was my
yeah.
last thought.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So if I just wait here,
If I just
they're gonna,
stay here,
they're gonna show
they're
up.
gonna run into me.
Sure.
So I'll just stay here and wait for them to run into me. But they wouldn't have ran into me because I was
off.
You
I
were
was
on the
down.
trail.
I was
Sure.
nowhere near where I was supposed to be. So I'm sitting there, and I'm probably moaning by this time in pain. And
Sure.
no one really moans in pain unless you're really.
Oh
messed
yeah,
up.
man.
Right.
So I'm kind of moaning in pain. I'm like, oh God, fuck, where's Tony and Wally? They got to be coming any second now. And I try to get up. Now it hurts to get up to sit up. Is just pain.
Yeah.
Everything is just painful.
Had you tried to start because you're on
I didn't-
Tony's bike
Yeah,
now, right?
I didn't touch his bike. Once I got my leg under there, I was sitting on the ground, kind of like I don't know how I was sitting down, but I was sitting on the ground, and
Just hurting.
I was just in pain.
Yeah.
I was in pain, but I wasn't worried because I knew Wally and Tony were coming
Sure. Yeah.
because I just passed them up. As far as I knew, I just passed them up, and they're just going to turn the corner any minute, and they're going to help me back on the bike, and we're just going to go to the first checkpoint. Well, and I'll be fine, and I'll be embarrassed, but it's no big deal.
Sure.
And so I'm waiting and waiting. I can't tell you. Maybe 15 minutes passed by.
Okay.
I have no idea, but 15 to 20, I'd guess. And I hear some dirt bikes, so I'm like, sweet. Finally, these guys
Yeah.
are showing up. And they come around the turn, and I'm like, who are these dudes? It's not Tony and Wally. It's some other guys. And I'm like flagging them down, and they're like, hey man, you need some help? I'm like, yeah, I'm fucked up. And they're like, who are you with? And I'm all, but luckily it was easy because everyone had a KTM in their orange bikes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm with a bunch of KTMs. And I go, we saw a big group of guys up the road. That's probably your group. And I go, yeah. And he goes, let's get you back on your bike. And I'm going to haul ass up there and let them know we found you. And I'm all, well, you guys aren't with the group? And they go, no, we're not with the group. We're heading down to Cabo, yeah.
Just random dudes.
So they're heading down to Cabo, yeah. So
Americans or
Amer-
Mexicans?
Right.
Americans,
No shit.
and I don't know if I was talking to both of them or I forget the exact conversation, or who I was talking to because they helped me on my bike They literally had to swing my leg around it for me and start it for me
Yeah.
because I couldn't do shit at that point. But it ended up being 2 guys from Westchester who went down to Mexico, and they were riding from Ensenada to down to Cabo, and they had been they're on these Baja bikes, which are bigger tanks and they have a lot of extra gear, and they had been on the road and decided that it was time to have some fun in the dirt. So they made the turn at the spot where the T intersection where I went up to, and realized I went the wrong way.
Yeah.
They turned off. They came off that road and turned, I want to say it was a left down to where I was and found me.
So from the other direction than where you were expecting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So they came down. They were like, "Whoa, what are you doing?"
Man.
I was fucking out there by myself.
So at that point, do you know how you ate it or what happened?
No clue. I would have no idea.
Wow.
Wasn't really even thinking about it. But
you're on the
No
bike
clue.
now, and the bike's running.
so
you can ride again.
Yeah. So it was horrible, painful experience. But it was like it's one of
Gotta
the things
do
that
it.
you think how do you do it? But you just gotta do it.
Yeah, you got to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're bleeding internally, and then you're on the bike, so the bike's
it's
going
bouncing,
yeah. It was horrible.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Do this or stay here and
Right?
die.
Yeah.
yeah.
exactly.
So to
Shit.
think about it,
But think about the dumb fucking luck of
Yeah.
these guys just happening to turn right into
Yeah.
you, dude.
yeah, all the
And
places
what-
they could go.
And what would have happened if they had it, man?
Oh, dude.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. It's scary to think.
So
I don't know.
you're riding now.
So now I'm riding, and one of the guys just hauled ass and went back up to which was ended up being the checkpoint. And I'm riding with the other guy, and I remember I was just barely keeping the bike up, and he would slow down, and I'm like, come on, you got to ride.
Yeah.
And I'd be like slouching over, and then I throttle up again, and
Yeah.
so I make it to where the group was. And they're all huddled around the hood of a chase vehicle with a map out. This is what Wally had told me later on. And they had started mapping out a search area. And
Because you didn't
To
show
look
up.
for you, yeah.
'cause I didn't show up for the first checkpoint because I went the wrong way, and I didn't show up for the second checkpoint. And based off all the timeline from when everyone showed up to the second checkpoint was about 45 minutes to an hour from when I actually showed up to the second checkpoint with the guys from Westchester.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So do you have an estimate then on like how long you're out at this
Yeah,
point?
so we're guessing it could have been. It wasn't just a quick knockout.
Yeah.
Could have been like a half hour.
Half hour, right? Yeah.
Man.
I was
something
gonna
like
say.
that. Just
That's
out-
fucking
out
crazy.
Cold. Like who was knocked out for that long?
Yeah.
So it was. Yeah, I guess it was. It could have been some significant time being out.
Was your hindsight after the fact and looking at it? Was your helmet fucked up? Was there a damage to your helmet?
No,
Oh.
there was no damage to the bike.
Man, so you
helmet-
just must have hit whatever you hit
I think-
perfectly to knock you out.
Yeah, I think I hit a berm or whoop, and it just compressed the front suspension because I had some cuts in my bottom of my chin. I hit the handlebar, and I think just the compression of coming down
Yeah.
may have
Right.
just spontaneously
Or you're
if I hit the handlebar with, I had no
Something,
external damage on my stomach.
oh shit.
Nothing.
Really?
No
Not
bruising.
a scratch. Nothing.
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 What the hell, dude?
Fucking aliens.
They got
This-
you, dude.
yeah, this podcast has just changed.
I
They
don't,
were
wa- I don't want to jump
What if they
ahead
were trying to? It's a chupacabra, man.
Because in my head I'm trying to like guess his diagnosis and shit from his symptoms, so I want to get to
Man.
so
Well, I mean, you can have that happen, man. If you have some sort of impact or a quick deceleration, your
Yeah.
organs can bounce around in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
pee
can.
in bright red coagulated blood. He's got a bladder, splenic lac.
Oh, it
there's
was
shit
all-
going
it was-
on in there, bro.
It was
You know what
my,
I mean?
it was my kidney.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
my kidney that got ruptured.
So let's get to
There
that.
you
So
go. Okay,
so
yeah.
you show up at the checkpoint.
So I show up there, and they're like, hey, so those two guys, by the way, from Westchester,
Yeah.
they kind of did a loop, never really stopped. Told the guys, hey, we found this guy around like 5 miles down this way, and then they left.
See ya.
Never
We're
knew who
going
they
to
were.
Cabo.
Never got their name or nothing. I
No
wish I
shit.
could have.
Well, if you guys
Gone.
are listening
Maybe
to
they're
this
listening.
podcast,
Thank you. You saved my life.
You
Right?
saved
You
you
saved
saved
my
Mike's
life.
life, and he appreciates it, and we do too.
So
you're
they,
there.
so they get me inside the chase vehicle, and the guy driving it had gotten an accident 2 weeks prior and had a broken tip fib on his left
shit.
leg. It's funny.
Hop in, buddy. It's fucking like, yeah, we're getting. I know where it's at.
Yeah, and I know exactly where to go. So we go to the ER in Ensenada. It took about 30 minutes or so to get there. All the bikes are following behind in procession,
Yeah.
and we blew by them. And so the whole way there,
Did they have
Chuck-
any medical treatment or anything at the checkpoint? Like,
nah,
anyone
dude, they
starting
threw me in
IV
there.
on you or
They
anything?
threw me in there, and we went for it. We
that seems a little crazy.
Yeah.
Gas
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
was the
Yeah.
therapy.
Okay.
And his name was Chuck Dempsey, another guy who saved my life. Thank you, Chuck, if you're listening. So he's driving the chase vehicle, and he's he's trying to keep conversation because I'm quiet,
Sure. Trying to keep you awake.
trying to keep me awake. I guess, yeah. Just asking me like first date questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're chopping it up about that much the way there. We get there, and I can't get out of the car, or it's a box truck, so I can't get out of the cab of it. So he comes around. He has a crutch, and he hops around to the other side. Stuff like two.
Oh shit! That's right. 'Cause his legs
Yeah,
broken the whole time.
he has a cast on.
You
his
lean
leg.
on me, I'm gonna lean right back on you.
So we're kind of doing that,
Yeah.
and we're at the front entrance of this hospital, and he's broken leg, and I'm just I'm not covered in blood. It's just like some splatters of blood.
Sure.
And I'm dirty though.
They rushed to
I
help
look like
him
I look
first.
like crap. Yeah,
Like,
they
oh,
throw him on
man,
a
what's
stretcher and
happening,
sit him on his leg.
This guy needs surgery right now.
So this lady comes out. This American lady comes out of the front door, and there's like this. It's funny because like it seems from what I remember it, which could be totally wrong. The streets were dead. Everything. There's no one anywhere. Just desolate. And this one lady comes out, an American lady, and she goes, "Oh my God, are you guys okay?" And I'm like, "No, I'm jacked up." And she was like, "Well, they'll treat you good. Somebody just got in a dirt bike accident, and they're treating them really well. So they'll treat you guys well in here." And she kind of went on her way, And I was like, "All right, cool." So like an orderly or something comes out real quick and gives me a wheelchair and wheels me in.
That's probably her job at the hospital.
Yeah.
The white lady.
Yeah.
the white Mexican lady that speaks English real good.
She's like the barker for like the strip club.
Yeah. She goes right in the back door. Yeah, come on in here. They treat you good. Yeah. I'm American, trust me. I'm a good American woman. Okay, go.
So they wheel me in there, and now I'm thinking, I need to get the hell out of this hospital and get to America.
Yeah.
I need to get back to the
yeah.
States. I'm not.
Now
I'm
you're
not,
thinking real clear.
Yeah, and I need to get the hell out of here.
And Wally is there,
they're-
or he's following
They're not
up?
there yet. They're following behind.
Okay.
And this is a part. So the rest of the story that there's some parts that Wally told me that I don't have firsthand knowledge of.
Sure.
Right.
And then obviously the stuff that happened to me. So what happened to me was they put me on a stretcher, which is it really felt like a stretcher, not a hospital bed.
Yeah.
And they're kind of, I don't want to say that out here people aren't as urgent to provide care for you when you walk through the hospital doors, but they were very urgent in wanting to care for me.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was because I had no color in my skin or whatever, but
Yeah.
there was no hesitation at all.
You probably look like shit at
Yeah.
that point.
I
too.
must have.
That's
Now
gotta be
that- now that I
scary.
think about it.
Everyone you come in
Yeah.
contact
Yeah.
with goes, "Whoa,
Yeah. Come on, man.
okay, what?"
Yeah. It was like the TV show ER where they're just on it,
Yeah, yeah.
I had two so they put me in this room, put me on the gurney, and they put me in this room, and they take my boots off, and they go, "Hey, you got a credit card?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I gave them my credit card, and they're starting IVs on me.
Sure.
And I remember one nurse was yelling at the other nurse because they couldn't start the other line. And I'm thinking, man, they're really passionate about their job,
Yeah.
So they start two IVs on me, or maybe they put me in. They tried before they start the IVs. I want to say they gave me an X-ray, and they may have been before or after. I don't know. It's not really important, but they wanted me to stand up for this X-ray, and there's just like the backboard of the X-ray wall.
Yeah.
It's like this 1/4 inch frame for whatever is up there.
Sure, yeah.
And I'm trying to hold on to it because I can't hold myself up.
Oh, right.
Right.
I'm like falling down. And they're like,
Because you're feeling
please
weak?
stand still. Yeah.
And you have to stay still.
Please
yeah.
stand still. And I'm just falling,
trying.
like collapsing.
Yeah.
So they put me back in the wheelchair and put me back in the room. I think that's when they started the IVs. And then they like, "Hey, we couldn't see anything in your X-ray. It's too much blood. We got to do ultrasound." So do an ultrasound. "Hey, it's too much blood. We can't see what's going on." And then by then, the doctor comes out and he goes, "Hey, I studied in the United States," just like the very, no accent at all. "Hey, I studied in the States and I came back to Mexico. I'm going to treat you. You're in luck today because we were having a meeting, and the head surgeon from Tijuana Hospital's here, trauma surgeon,
Yes, dude.
head trauma surgeon from Tijuana Trauma Center's here. I'm here, and some other doctors here, and we're all here.
This guy's like house of TJ.
Yeah, and none of them are except for that one doctor is usually there. All of them there.
Man.
So TJ kicks ass because of all the cartel.
Yeah. It's like county, man.
Yeah,
they
it's
get
like
all
county.
the shooting.
Yeah, they see all the
all
shit,
the
right?
shootings
So
and shit. Yeah.
they're on top of trauma,
Sure.
right? And this guy just finished studying in the United States, and he's on there. They're at surgeons and trauma surgeons there, and
Man, the stars that lined up to
Right?
save
Right?
your freaking
I
life,
know,
Mike
man.
James.
Jeez. So
Crazy.
So Wally gets there, and he was like, "I called the relief. I called dispatch. We're gonna get you a helicopter. We're gonna get you this. We're gonna get you that." And I'm like, "All right, sweet. Thank you, Wally." I
So
called your
hold
brother.
on. It should be stated that there's an organization within the fire department called
yeah.
Relief Association. The Relief Association is fucking awesome, man.
Oh, they're the best ever.
They're essentially there to help you.
Yeah.
However you need help, in whatever situation
Yeah.
you need help in, you're taking care of a loved one at home and you need a hospital bed, boom,
Yeah.
Relief Association. Your wife's pregnant, she needs a breast pump, boom, Relief Association.
There it
You know,
is.
pretty
Yeah.
much wide range of anything that
Yeah,
you
services.
need. They're
Yeah.
there to help, and we all pay into it. It's just this amazing organization that helps you in any bad situation you're in. So Wally's there making
So
phone calls
Wally's
to
making
people trying
phone
to
calls.
get us there.
He called my brother, which I guess I made an emergency contact. So he calls my brother. My brother was on his way home from work. So he worked in Long Beach, lived in Lakewood. On his way home, he got the phone call. He said he made a U-turn, like got off the freeway, got back on the freeway, 405 in Long Beach,
Boom.
got to Rosarito. He said under 2 hours,
Wow.
zero traffic.
Hey. That's
I was
funny.
like,
man.
damn. So and then he called all these. Then he started calling.
That's a 3.5 hour drive, maybe something like
It's
that.
like
Normally
a 3 hour
3 hour
drive, man.
Yeah.
Then he made all the calls.
Sure.
And then it's funny because I just found out the other day, maybe a month ago now, I was talking to my other brother Dominique, and he said when he found out, everyone thought I was in grave danger.
Yeah.
And when my brother Dominique found out, he felt so hopeless. He didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
He said he tweeted Garcetti. No, not Garcetti. It wasn't Garcetti.
It was
via
Villaraigosa.
Villaraigosa.
He tweeted via Ragosa and said, "All right, what are you gonna do for my brother?"
No shit. Did he
And
answer?
He replied, "Because we're gonna take care of your brother. We're gonna get him."
That's cool, man.
Right?
Hey,
What
I will
did he
say,
do?
I will say this. I was in an accident, pretty bad accident in the rescue some years back, and went to the hospital. Minor injuries, but it was a bad accident. Villaraigosa called me that night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, called me. Hey, I heard you were in an accident. Just checking in and stuff like that. So that was
That's
pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, thank you.
Yeah, I was sitting there with Bernie. I'm like, it's the mayor. She's like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, swear to God.
Damn, get out of here.
All right, so everybody gets down there.
Okay.
Did they open you up?
So that was the last thing I wanted to happen. So I before I go for the CAT scan, Wally comes in. He goes, "Hey, we're gonna we have a helicopter coming for you. We're working on it right now." He called our dispatch, and they're calling around. Apparently, they called some private ambulance companies, and they found one based out of the owner who lived in Florida and had a helicopter in San Diego. And he was like, "Yeah, we'll go get him. We'll go pick him up." And so I was like, "All right, cool. I don't know how where the helicopter's gonna land or any of that stuff,
Sure,
but
yeah.
we're gonna get a helicopter and I'm getting out of here." So, and that's how good I thought our insurance was.
I'm American.
yeah.
Boom.
So
I got a PPO.
yeah. I could pick my helicopter.
Somebody get Obama on the phone.
So the doctor was like, "Hey, you're pretty bad. I want to work on you." And I was like, "No, don't worry about it. We're good." He goes, "All right, well, let's get this CAT scan done." Got the CAT scan done, and the hospital's like, "Hey, we need more money." And the doctor's like, "Not right now. I'm trying to convince this guy to work on him."
Sure.
And then my friend Wally told me that we're getting a helicopter coming for me. And he goes, "A helicopter's not going to come fast enough. You need to have surgery now."
No shit.
They
No,
said there
or
was
is it-
too
or-
much blood for
or-
them to
yeah.
see anything, dude. Like,
Well, the
yeah.
CAT scan was which was what showed everything.
Yeah.
So he said, "I got a helicopter coming," and he goes, "A helicopter won't come soon enough. You need to have surgery right now."
Basically telling you you're gonna die.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he goes, "I'm going to pay for it."
No shit.
Yeah, and that's when I was like, "Let's go."
Boom. You're my guy. Holy shit, man. So so the CAT scan, what exactly did it show?
It showed a lacerated kidney.
Mm-hmm.
A quarter of it was lacerated, and I had my entire abdominal cavity was full of blood.
Full of blood.
Oh my god, dude.
So I go upstairs. They put me. It looked like, well, this looks way nicer, but it was like an old drop ceiling.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the tiles weren't missing in this particular room, but my brother said when he gave blood, the tiles were missing.
Oh my god, dude.
And but you know, it's just, you know,
Right
man,
as you
it
go
wasn't
out.
it wasn't what you were expecting, and it was just a table half the width of this with 2 arm extensions.
Did they throw everything off of it right before they put you on?
Move that stuff out of the way. Get that cow off there. So they cleared. They slid me on the table, and then they put propofol. And I was like, damn, man, here we go.
Rest in peace,
Good
Michael.
night. Yeah.
Michael Jackson.
And I just remember thinking, I'm not falling asleep. They're gonna have to put me out. And they put me out. I woke up, a couple blinks. Tony and Wally were standing at the foot of my bed. Blinked again. My brother standing at the foot of my bed. And I'm like, what are you doing here? And he was like, dude, you almost died. I'm like, what? What are you talking about?
Oh my god,
It's just,
dude.
it's crazy. So the next day, I got a ambulance ride. Just Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. They were, oh my god. I have a video of that too. They're losing their mind, dude, driving. And they take me to Mexico Air Force Base, where the private helicopter came, the medevac, loaded me up, took me to a U.S. Air Force Base where I cleared customs.
Mm-hmm.
They actually asked me if I had anything to declare. And then I landed on the roof of a hospital in San Diego. My family was there waiting for me. It was like a pretty cool thing.
Yeah.
As they pulled me out, my family's there like
Cheering
clapping and
shit,
cheering.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
It's
a
like you won the
tearjerker,
national
man.
championship.
So I get down to the ER, and the first thing this doctor says, this kind of prick, he goes, "Why'd you let him do that to you? I wouldn't have operated on you." And I was like, "Dude, I thought I was dying. Like, what do you mean?"
Yeah.
So
What would have been his plan? Did he ever tell you?
It turns out that I lost 3 liters of blood in my stomach.
Oh shit,
I mean,
dude.
Man, that story, it's funny. What I get from what you just said is just like the Mexicans doctors are just cool as fuck and we're trying their hardest.
Yeah.
And the first thing the American doctor does
That's
is
the first thing he
shit.
said.
Man, that's crazy.
Right?
First thing he said to me, I was like, dude.
Yeah.
So you wound up, what hospital did you wind up in San Diego? or what?
Sharp.
Oh, okay.
I think it's called Sharp.
Yeah.
Sharp?
Sharp.
Yeah.
There's a bunch. There's like 3 or 4 of them.
there. Yeah.
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 And it was just recovery at that point, or
Yeah.
did they do anything? Did they have to do anything
No,
else?
I had in a NG tube.
Which is a nasogastric tube. It goes in your
Yeah.
nostril, right? Goes all the way down to your stomach.
stomach.
It basically constantly sucks the contents of your stomach out
Yeah.
so that you don't vomit
Yeah.
and aspirate, hopefully. But it's
Like
something that's
feed you
normal.
through it or give you
Yeah.
medication through it.
That
too.
and a Foley catheter. They had to change both of them out to American brands.
Really? You had to do that, guys?
Yeah. So that changed both those out
yeah, the
while I was
Mexican
awake,
Foley.
because those went
Yeah.
in when I was unconscious. I had no idea they were in. So
You're
they-
like, oh my
Yeah,
God!
like,
Oh my God!
one day I was Fuge was visiting me, and he tripped over it.
Oh no, dude! Are you shitting me? Oh my God! If you don't know what a Foley catheter is, you're gonna have to look that one up. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
describe it
fun
on
with
this
He tripped over
podcast.
the hose.
Yeah.
Thank God it was tied off.
So
to,
how
like,
long were you in the
bed or
hospital there
something.
for?
I was in the hospital for a week. First day in ICU.
Did they remove your kidney
A
completely?
quarter
or?
of it. They
A
cut it
quarter of
off and they sewed it up with cat intestines,
No shit.
which is
Wow.
I thought was a Mexican thing, but it turns out it's standard practice.
And how many liters of blood did you get?
I'm not sure. All my paperwork from Mexico was in Spanish.
Okay, but
So-
but definitely Mexican blood.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Sangre por
Abraham
sangre.
Loya.
Abraham Loya.
Abraham Loya.
Hey, if
Shout
you're
out to
listening-
Abraham Loya.
Shout out, brother. We have a lot of listeners in
Yeah.
Mexico. So Abraham, if you're listening,
You had your
man.
brothers giving blood too, though,
He gave
right?
blood to
Okay.
replace what I took.
Ah.
Yeah, offset the
Yeah,
price.
gracias.
So his blood went to a Mexican.
Yeah.
Boom. All is right in the world. Perfectly balanced. Perfectly balanced.
That's right.
Man.
Have you been dirt bike riding since this accident?
Yeah. I used to actually. So before I could go back to the fire station, I was working at light duty spot, like office job, and I would ride my dirt bike in, and they would lose their mind. They would lose their mind.
Oh, that's funny, man.
But
This man's got a death wish.
I stopped riding it because everybody else kind of stopped riding.
Yeah.
So
That's funny too, man, because you hit, it's like life, you know? You hit these little like milestones in life where you do all this crazy shit at this age, and then you finally get to a spot where you're like, hey, I'm cool doing all that crazy shit. Let me do this other fun stuff that I'm into now.
Maybe it's also because they saw Mike almost fucking die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good.
We're just gonna go swimming next time.
Yeah.
Mexico.
Well,
man.
shit, man. That's a story right there, dude.
Sure is.
I'll say it's pretty crazy after hearing all that. Like I said before, all the stars that aligned to save your life that day, man.
Yeah.
What a trip. Thank God it happened. You know, Mike's a great
Seriously.
guy. I'm happy you're here, man.
And now you're completely back to work.
Oh
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
I got back to work pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, once they sucked all the blood out of your
Yeah.
abdominal
His cat
cavities.
intestines
Yeah.
healed,
Yeah.
and that
It's
was
easy
it.
to-
Once
it's
that all
easy to
healed
move
up.
around,
Now he's
yeah.
like part cat.
Hey, I do want to say before I forget, all of the opinions and everything mentioned here are our opinions. They do not reflect the opinion of the Los Angeles City Fire Department or the Los Angeles County Department of Health.
Mm-hmm. And that
True.
being said, if you are not a firefighter and you can't call the Relief Association to pick you up out of Mexico, there is a number you can call. If you get jacked up and you're in the hospital in Mexico, stuck in the hospital, there's the Office of Binational Affairs. You can get them at 619-425-5080, and they pretty much do what happened for Mike. Like
What
they'll
happened,
they'll
Mike,
help
yeah.
you get
That would have
out
been
of Mexico
information
and
he
back
could
into
have used
America.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Where was this
Yeah.
podcast?
And they do it, man. They're there 24 hours.
Yeah, man, it's
Yep.
good. That's good information to know, especially if you're going down there. Especially since Mexico's like the only country we can travel to right now, right?
I know, right?
So
Yeah.
if you're going down there, and,
Barely.
you know, especially with this podcast, our listeners, there are probably a lot of guys and gals that go out to Glamis and you know maybe go down to Mexico and
all
do
the time.
dirt bike riding like that. So
Yeah.
write down that number, take it with you, lock it into your sat phone that you're going to take with you now in case you go off track.
That's another, it's another
Yeah.
key piece of
Yeah.
equipment.
Yeah. Big time.
Mike, thank you for coming and telling the story. I know
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah, that
a
was
lot of
great,
times
dude.
it's hard to tell stories like that, but that's a crazy
Yeah,
story,
that's a
man.
condensed version, I think.
Yeah.
But you nailed it, dude. That's what I'm saying. You fit it into the hour, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was perfect, man. I really
Perfect.
appreciate you coming out. Ben, where can they find you?
Well, they can find me at Ben9Humor, Ben number 9 Humor, like benign tumor.
And you can follow me at Danny Gonzo34 on Instagram and Twitter.
Mike, do you got anything you want to plug or promote?
I don't. I wish I did.
Yeah, there's no Mike
No.
James
Yeah,
Foundation
.com.
No.
for
No.
kidney research.
A cat foundation.
Pave all the roads in
Save
Mexico.
the cats. All right, man. Well, thank you for coming on.
Yeah,
Thanks.
you can follow the podcast at PRC Pod on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. You can also email us at contactprcpod@gmail.com if you've got questions. We also have these hot PRC, please remain calm T-shirts as modeled by
Mike will
Danny.
show you the back right now.
Oh.
Mike
Who do I show
just
it to?
got one. Just you can
Over
just
here,
hold it
this
up,
way.
man.
Oh,
That's
there you
your
go.
camera
There it
there.
is.
That
Hey,
was
there-
Mike's parting gift for participating. We also have these hot PRC stickers. So what's that? It's a merch pack. You know what I'm saying? Merch and rescue. You give us a 5-star review.
Oh.
Hey,
Screenshot it.
reviews and comments. We really appreciate them.
Send these bad boys out to you.
Yeah, it'll help us get good placement on the different areas that you get or the different companies that you get podcasts on. So
Makes a big difference. We get everything from word of mouth pretty much, and we appreciate you guys. Thank you to everybody who listens and shares our show, and thank you Third Wheel Podcast Studio.
all right, that's it. Thanks a lot. See ya.
Yeah. Hey. All right. Hey. Yeah, I mean.
We about to take off.
Hey. Please do remain calm. About to run against it and with a little bit of soul, no times.